Hey everybody, it's pretty much winter and I love doing braised dishes, so I've got another one for you guys. This is a red cooked pork shoulder dish. It's Chinese again, and it's traditionally done with pork belly, but pork shoulder is a lot cheaper here, so I'm going to do it that way. So we're going to start just by boiling some water in a wok. This is, we're basically just going to blanch our pork shoulder that you can see I've chopped it into cubes here. I'm just going to let it boil for 2 or 3 minutes, and this will remove any sort of extra fat and gristle. So once you dump it in, you want to bring that back to a boil. And you can see that there's a bunch of stuff that's come off it, so it really helps clean it up. Then we want to clean out the wok, make sure it's dry, no oil here. And the key to getting a good flavor in this dish is actually this part here. So we're just going to put about 3 tablespoons of sugar into the wok. Depends how much pork you're using. I use about 800 grams. You should probably actually use 6 tablespoons that you'll see later. And what we're doing is we're trying to turn it into caramel. So just heat it on kind of low-medium heat. And we just want to keep stirring it until we get a nice caramel. If you let it sit in the same spot too much, you'll start smoking. You'll get sort of a bitter taste to it. So once we have our caramel, we're going to put our pork back in, make sure it's well drained. And we'll just toss it in the caramel. And you can see here, 3 tablespoons wasn't enough for this much pork. But the nice thing about a wok is it's easy to kind of push things aside and free up some bottom space, so you can add more sugar here, as I'll do in a second. The idea here is just sort of to coat everything with this sweet caramel, which will give a lot of flavor once we actually put the liquid in when we're actually braising. So what the red cooking means in this case is actually cooking in soy sauce. So yes, I got a little bit more caramel here, and I'm just going to toss the cover. We'll give it about 10 minutes or so. Just keep stirring it. We want to have this nice dark color. We want to get the meat well browned here, because this is going to give us a lot of flavor. So if you can get a hold of a good sherry, you can do it here. I'm not a big drinker, so I don't keep wine around. So I like to substitute with mirin. So today I'm going to use mirin and some Chinese black vinegar. And mix them half and half, about 1/4 cup of each. And we'll just pour that in here. And then we want a little bit more liquid here. So I'm going to put it in about 250 mils of water. And the most important part here is the soy sauce. I'm actually going to use 2 different kinds of soy sauce here. Use a dark soy sauce, which is a thicker soy sauce. It's not quite as salty, but it really has a nice flavor that's brought out when it's cooked. So I'm going to put 2 tablespoons of that in. And then we're going to go for a light soy sauce. Of course, if you watch any of my other videos, you know I love tamari. I use it for everything. So a couple tablespoons of that as well. So if you only have the one soy sauce, it should be the dark soy sauce, but really the combination of the 2 seems to bring it out. We just want to bring that up to a boil. And just make sure everything's sort of sitting in the liquid. And we'll put the top on the wok. And give it about an hour or so to cook. So I want to turn the heat down so it's not boiling, just a little bit of a simmer. After an hour, you can see we've lost a lot of liquid and made a lot of steam. And the sauce should be actually quite syrupy now. We put a lot of sugar in it. So you might need to add a little bit more water during the cooking process, depending on how tight your lid fits and how much pork you have. I didn't have to. And I've done sort of the most basic form of this dish, which is just the pork. But common things that people like to go alongside with to sort of soak up some of the sauce. Hard-boiled eggs, as well as rolled up sheets of tofu skin is really good as well. But this is sort of as basic as it gets. If you're giving a little taste here, it might need a little bit more soy sauce if it's not salty enough. So just give it a taste. And this is pretty much it in its most basic form. Some people like to put some other spices, cloves, coriander, that sort of thing. But I like it just the way it is. So that's what it looks like. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoy.